presents the National Football League. Today, it's the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Denver Broncos.
Welcome to Mile High Stadium, everybody, on a beautiful opening Sunday. It is packed to the rafters once again, the 164th consecutive sellout here in Denver. I'm Jim Donovan. We should have a very good one for you there this afternoon. The Broncos taking on the defending Central Division champs, the Cincinnati Bengals. And it's a great pleasure to welcome to NBC Sports one of the great defensive backs ever in the NFL. 9 years in the NFL, 7 with the Giants. Let's welcome Beasley Reese to NBC Sports, and what a game we have today.
Oh, we've got a great one. For defensive backs like me, everybody's frightened. John Elway, Boomer Esiason, it will not be a dull day at the park. And for the Cincinnati Bengals, they are trying to find an offensive line. Most of the starters were injured in the final preseason game. For the Denver Broncos, it's rebound time. 5-11 last year. They are certainly more talented than that.
David Treadwell will kick off for the Broncos. And the mile-high roar has already started to pick up. Cincinnati will receive here on the opening Sunday. And back deep for the Bengals here this afternoon to start us off will be Eric Ball. He's on the far side of your screen. And Lynn James, number 80, is on the near side. So we're glad you're with us. Treadwell to start us off, the Broncos and Bengals. Eric Ball at his 2-yard line. There's a flag down, and Ball goes down at the 19-yard line. And Boomer Esiason is ready to bring the troops out, but already Jerry Markbright will have to check out the penalty flag that was thrown down. So that's kind of a sloppy start to our opening kickoff here this afternoon at Mile High Stadium. But of course it gives the Broncos defense a chance to get themselves set out there, Beasley. Here's the call from Jerry Markbright.
Holding, number 53, receiving team, 10-yard penalty, first down.
And so the penalty call right away on Leo Barker of the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's take a look at the Bengals offense. Boomer Esiason with Ball and Brooks having another great year, and then all of that talented wide receiver. As the Bengals come up to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10, deep in their own territory, and Esiason is rushed right off the bat by Mecklenburg as he tried to get the ball to Eric Ball. All right, in passing situations, as we showed you the Bengals situation, their offensive line is really battered right now. Ken Moyer is in there. Krzyzewski is playing with a sore shoulder. Paul Jeton is in there, too. As Reimers and Joe Walter are out with injuries, they both have hamstring pulls. 2nd and 10. The ball is at the 10-yard line. Eric Ball. Good run by Ball. He is dragged down on the play by Tim Lucas up over the 15-yard line. Ball got hit head-on by Dennis Smith, but then bounced right off of that one and carries out for a good gain out to the 16-yard line. And it will be 3rd down and 5 coming up for the Cincinnati Bengals, and they're right up to the line of scrimmage and firing. 4 wide receivers into the game. Actually, James Brooks lines up at the top of your screen as a wide receiver. Esiason throws one incomplete. I really don't know who it was intended for because both Eddie Brown and Rodney Holman were there. I think it might have been Brown, but they must punt.
You know, that's an excellent start for the Denver defense. They were worried about the no huddle. They were worried about the quick play calling, but they really survived the first test. Just an excellent job. That time, you really couldn't tell who the ball was headed for. Boomer feels pressure, tries to get a timing pass. Take a look at the number of people. There are more Broncos in the area than there were Bengals.
Lee Johnson's first punt of the year. The left footer bangs it out. Kevin Clark is deep for the Broncos at the 27. And Lynn James is down there to make the tackle for Cincinnati as he pushes him back to the 26-yard line. What a great punt by Lee Johnson, 57 yards. Here's John Elway and the Bronco offense coming out onto the field right now. We'll start with their offensive line. They're banged up, too. Dave Weidel is in there along with his brother, Doug Weidel. Dave's in there for the injured Sean Farrell as he's out with a hamstring pull. And the backs and receivers along with John Elway. A whole new backfield. Gaston Green brought over from the Rams. Perryman's in there. Bobby Humphrey, of course, the holdout. And then in the 4-wide situation, there's this personnel that comes in. Steve third down back. 1st and 10 Broncos. Gaston Green. Not much. To the 31, a short gain on the play. Let's take a look at the Bengal defense for you right now as we watch the unpile of Gaston Green. Green going back to the huddle. Here's the Bengals front seven. Lamar Rogers, a rookie out of Auburn, and Alfred Williams down at the bottom of your screen, their top draft choice, just into camp, and he is in there. He's the rookie out of Colorado, and there's their secondary. Second down now for Denver, and 9 yards to go. Elway's first pass, Shannon Sharp. And Shannon takes it for a first down out to the 42-yard line. David Fulcher comes over, but Shannon Sharp, a fine receiver for them.
Shannon Sharp was all alone in the flat, simply turns up. That's a nice start for the offense. Just a super start for his second play, coming out with a pass, using Elway's ability to his best. And remember, he's calling the shots. He's calling his own plays.
That's right. Elway got told during training camp, during the preseason, you will call all the plays. And he called a nice one there, a 12-yard pass connection and a first down on the catch by Shannon Sharp. Gaston Green is the lone back, and he gets it. And he is tripped up by James Francis, the linebacker of the Bengals, out to the 46-yard line, a short gain for Green.
And there's John Elway signaling in personnel. He gives one quick hand signal, one motion. They know exactly what he means. Now he's got the personnel in. He's going to call a play that's set up for a 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7 situation. He's got about a 5 or 6 play option written on his hand, pre-discussed with Dan Reeves, and he's ready to go.
Reeves says he's doing a good job so far calling the plays. Second down for the Broncos at their own 46. A draw play to Green. Again, the Bengals play the run pretty well as Green try to go over to the right side. And it will be third down coming up, third down and long coming up for the Denver Broncos. Bobby Humphrey not in the lineup. And Will McDonough told us on NFL Live earlier today that McDonough said that Humphrey holding out. And right now the Broncos are really perturbed to the point that they're starting to offer him around in a possible trade. They want a top draft choice.
You know, they told us in the meetings that they will stand pat. They will not renegotiate a player's contract with 2 years left. They are standing pat.
4 wide receivers in on third down and 5. Steve Sewell in the backfield with Elway. The Bengals jump across, and they come across quickly. David Grant was in there. This is a free play. Michael Young, touchdown!
Offside, defense, penalty decline, touchdown.
What a way to start. You can never relax as a defensive back. Rod Jones seeing the flags, hearing the whistle, thinking that the play was over. Young continuing to play, and a perfect pass. How smart is John Elway? He realizes there's your jump right there. Elway obviously pulling them offside with the signal call. He stays with the play. A perfect pass, perfect catch. Touchdown.
David Grant looked to be the Bengal player that jumped off. David Treadwell for the extra point. Gary Kubiak will hold. And he missed it, but there's a flag down. Treadwell also got drilled after he kicked it. So we have to wait and see what the call is here. Extra point is good. They say roughing the kicker, so the ball did go through. Extra point is good by Treadwell, roughing the kicker. There's your touchdown catcher, Michael Young, 52 yards from John Elway. And the Broncos lead over the Bengals 7-0.
So Rod Jones is off to a bad start. Now, he comes in here and roughs the kicker. Now, of course, one play before that, he allowed Michael Young, to get behind him for the touchdown. He relaxed when he saw the flag.
So the roughing the kicker penalty is marked off on the kickoff, and look at where Treadwell is teeing it up from. Midfield. Right in the middle of the F on the NFL. A line drive kick. Lynn James better stay in the end zone, and he does. Gee, a rough start for the Bengals as they give up a bomb on that play from Elway to Michael Young, 52 yards for the touchdown, and fall behind 7-0. And now on the sideline, they huddle up and they'll come right out to the line of scrimmage. But on the offside jump by David Grant, didn't it look like the Bengals froze a little bit and didn't go through with the play?
Exactly. That's exactly what Rod Jones did. He saw the flags and relaxed, and you can never do that. You can never assume that a play is over, especially when receivers are streaking down the field.
Now, so far, and they've only gotten one series in, we haven't seen James Brooks touch the ball yet. From the 20-yard line, that's Eric Caddis in motion. There's Brooks. And he is dragged down by the Broncos. Warren Powers gets over there, and also Atwater, the safety, comes up and makes the hit on James Brooks.
Just excellent pursuit by the defense. They are doing one heck of a job so far. They are excited. They are pumped up. You can expect Atwater to be mixing it up all the time. He gets the first grab, and everybody else comes over to help. This is a pumped up, fired up defensive unit.
A loss of 1 on the play. Makes it 2nd down and 11. The ball at the 19 of Cincinnati. Here's Brooks again. And Carl Mecklenburg drags him down at the 20.
There are 3, 4, 5 Bronco jerseys in the area. That's what a defensive coach loves to see. Let's take a look at Mecklenburg. He's one of the best has-been over the years. Just screaming his way, fighting off an excellent effort at a block by Bell and making the play.
Here's a long bomb, and Atwater picks it off for the Broncos. Finally brought down by Eric Ball. And it's 1st and 10 Denver at the 21-yard line of Cincinnati as the Bengals are having a nightmare of a start.
You know, we spoke to Atwater. He said that this year he wants to balance out his game. He is known as a hitter, known as a very aggressive defensive back. He said he wants to be. Take a look at how he plays the ball like a center fielder, and then an excellent run. Has the wherewithal to know that he took a couple of steps before he fell down, so the defender did not touch him. Gets up, makes an excellent run back, and a good tackle by Ball there.
All right, this one might be going to replay and possibly to see.
The interception is being reviewed by instant replay.
Well, there's no doubt that he caught the ball. But do you think on the run back they're trying to decide if he was down?
The big question is whether or not he was down after he took the couple of steps. Did the wide receiver push him down, or did he turn and fall? Let's see here. This is the perfect angle for it. There's the catch. Now take a look at wide receiver Eddie Brown. Take a look at wide receiver Russell. Russell hits him, but Russell doesn't really knock him down. This is going to be a very difficult decision. I'm glad I don't have to make it. I don't think that Russell knocked him down.
So we wait on the replay as Atwater had a fine run back after the interception. Our replay official today is Dave Kamansky. And there's your referee, Jerry Markbright.
Now, Eddie Brown definitely did not knock him down. Derek Russell put a pretty good shoulder on him. It bounced him back. The question is, was that the force? Here it is right here. There's the shoulder, a pretty good knock. It looks like he just pushes Russell off. As he's turning, he actually falls himself. They've got to let the run go, I think.
Now, it was a 45-yard run after the interception. As Atwater waits to hear the verdict on whether or not the ball will be spotted way back in Denver territory or the 45-yard return after his catch was good. And there's a guy that wants that ball to be spotted exactly where it is right now at the 21-yard line. Boy, this one's taking a long time. Now, they have like a 2-minute limit.
This is certainly a very complicated question. And I misspoke when I said it was Russell. It was Tim McGee, the receiver.
First down.
Sam Weiss doesn't like the decision. The return stands, a 45-yard return after the interception by Steve Atwater. Denver will try and cash in now on the interception by Atwater. 1st and 10. At the Cincinnati 21, they lead on an Elway 52-yard touchdown pass to Michael Young. Gaston Green. Down to the 18-yard line. Alfred Williams is in on the tackle for the Bengals. And also getting up off the pack is David Grant. Can Green step in and fill the shoes of a Bobby Humphrey? Yesterday, he wanted to do it yesterday afternoon at about 12 noon, I think, to do it. He was really fired up.
He was so nervous he didn't know what to do. He was squeezing out his hands, a very nervous player.
David Craig has broken his right thumb in that game for Seattle, and the Saints came back and won that game. And there you see our other scores. The Jets win on a Pat Leahy field goal, 16-13. Here in Denver, it's 7-0 Broncos. Elway throws, and Robert Perryman coming out of the backfield catches at the Bengal 15-yard line. Covered on the play by Alex Gordon. Now on third down plays, on third down situations, Elway will give Dan Reeves the chance to call the play.
When it's third and short, sometimes he can't see whether or not it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 1.5, 3rd and 2. So he allows the eyes in the sky to make that determination and make the call.
Mike Shanahan, the eyes in the sky that Beasley's speaking about. And here's Elway on 3rd down and 3. 4 wide receivers in, and Steve Sewell in the backfield with John Elway. He will not get the first down as he ran out of the tackle of Alex Gordon, but then Tim Crumry, the nose tackle, chased the play, and they're short. And a field goal attempt for Treadwell.
You know, when Sewell comes in the game, you know pretty much that he's going to get the ball. He's an excellent receiver. Elway set that play up well by looking off to the left. Now take a look as he takes the ball. He'll go straight back, look to the left a little bit. He knows right where he's going with the ball, turns back. That supposedly pulls the defense to the other side and to give Sewell a better opportunity to get the first down. That time just couldn't get there.
Ball spotted at the 20, make it a 30-yard field goal attempt for David Treadwell. He hit the upright. Treadwell misses from 30 yards, and the Broncos do not cash in on the interception by Esiason, and it's 7-0 Cincinnati.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Pontiac and your local Pontiac dealer. We build excitement. By Coors Light, the silver bullet is the right beer now. By Xerex Antifreeze Coolant, the temperature never drops below Xerex. And by Napa, because there are no unimportant parts.
Boomer Esiason on first down connects on a first down pass. The ball is caught by Craig Taylor coming out of the backfield. And the Bengals will huddle. Actually, they won't huddle. They'll come right up to the line of scrimmage and go on 2nd down and 1 at the 29-yard line. So once again, their philosophy is, we're getting tired out there. To the defense, you get tired with us. We're just going to keep on playing. 2nd and 1. Eric Caddis in motion. James Brooks. And should have the first down out over the 30-yard line, and he will. The Bengals finally get a first down. Remember, they have been stung so far in a 52-yard touchdown pass from John Elway to Michael Young, and then a Boomer Esiason interception as Steve Atwater picked off one of his passes, and they really haven't been able to get in any kind of flow, Beasley.
No, they really haven't. They're trying to get it, but it's not coming right now. You were looking at James Brooks just a few minutes ago. He's considered by many one of the best all-around football players in the National Football League. You see the standing huddle. Just everybody kind of stands around. It's sort of a huddle. They just don't form the traditional huddle.
6.5 to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Broncos. Here's Brooks. And Brooks is brought down by Michael Brooks at the 35-yard line. A fine block by Craig Taylor, leading James Brooks through the hole.
And you know what? He doesn't block some slouch. He puts the helmet on a pretty good player. That's Carl Mecklenburg coming around the corner. Take a look at the bounce-out block that allows the runner, James Brooks, and all his talent to turn upfield.
2nd down and 5 at the 35-yard line. James Brooks is at the bottom of your screen as a wide receiver right now.
Personnel, man, run 10 all hooks. He goes right formation now.
And that's Craig Taylor in the backfield, the lone back for the Bengals. And it's caught by Taylor, and it got some running room. Up to midfield, Tim Lucas is there, along with Dennis Smith. And another first down for the Bengals up to the 50-yard line as Taylor makes his second catch of the day.
Now, Craig Taylor he looks slight of build here, but believe me, his nickname is Rhino. You're looking at 228 pounds high-stepping and putting moves in.
On first down, Esiason back to Taylor, and why not? He's the hot hand right now, and he brings it down to the Bronco 43-yard line. And again, Esiason brings him right back up to the line of scrimmage. You know, these big guys got to be huffing and puffing right now.
Oh, they got to be tired, and that's the reason that they don't do a lot of huddling or a lot of substitution. They want to keep the defensive linemen huffing and puffing, just like their offensive linemen are huffing and puffing. By not huddling, by not taking the 25 seconds, it keeps the defense from bringing in fresh players.
That was an 8-yard pass catch by Taylor. It's 2nd and 2. Brooks back to Esiason. And he's got Barber wide open for a touchdown. Mike Barber on a beautiful classic Cincinnati play.
Wow, was that pretty? I tell you, you can't, it's like a run and shoot offense. They misfire, they misfire, they misfire, and then all of a sudden they take advantage of something. James Brooks is going to draw a lot of attention. He flips it back and just a beautiful throw. I tell you, as a quarterback, I would get excited right here. I'd say, oh my God, he's wide open, let me hit him. But the Boomer, with all of his experience and poise and savvy, lays it perfectly on the money, and Barber does not miss.
Jim Breach in to tie it. It's good. A 42-yard flea flicker for a touchdown. Esiason to Brooks, to Esiason to Barber. Better than Tinker Stabbers to Chance. And it's tied. These are late games that have just started on our 10-minute ticker. Dan Marino to Mark Clayton for a touchdown pass. Miami, with all those unsigned players and injuries, they lead in that game up in Buffalo. And Houston scored on an Alan Pinkett touchdown run. Minnesota leads over the Bears. And those are our other games underway. And we're at 7-7 as Lee Johnson kicks one up into the south stands here at Mile High Stadium. And he's got a great leg, does Lee Johnson. As a matter of fact, if they really need a super field goal attempt, like 54, 55 yards, Lee Johnson would be the guy they would go to. Now, can John Elway answer back Beasley to the 42-yard touchdown pass of Boomer Esiason? Elway already has a 52-yarder.
You know, they try to quietly underplay this thing, but anytime you get two great quarterbacks on the field like that, it ends up being a shootout, a question of who can outdo who. And believe me, he's going to come out gunning.
1st and 10 after the touchback at the 20-yard line. 4:27 to go in the first quarter, and it's 7-7. This is Gaston Green. And a good gain up near the first down marker, up by the 29-yard line. Ricky Dixon brought him down. Now, Alfred Williams, the linebacker out of Colorado, is the top draft choice of the Cincinnati Bengals. Here he is.
There's a super push. Two people on him. They bury him right now. He's got to learn some respect for this league. You know, he held out for a while, came in late, but in the first game, he came up with 4 solo tackles and a sack. He was telling me he thinks the entire senior team with him at Colorado could play in the National Football League. These bullets are real now. These are real games.
Almost fumbled the exchange, but it's recovered. So the Broncos get it up near a first down. Let's go to New York right now. Marv Albert for an update.
All right, Jim, the big NFL story earlier today on this play. Eagles quarterback Randall Cunningham suffered torn ligaments in his left knee. He will undergo an MRI examination as soon as possible. If surgery is required, it probably means he's out for the season. With Jim McMahon at quarterback, the Eagles beat Green Bay 20-3. Back to Jim and Beasley.
First down, John Elway fires to the 40-yard line as he's going with the short game right now. And the catch made by Michael Young. So the Bengals defense, as Elway will look right now down to his wristband. That's where he has all the plays written down.
The plays are broken down by down and distance and yardage situations where they are on the football field. They are in little squares. Say it's 2nd and 7, or 3rd and 1, or 2nd and 11. There are several plays that he can choose from off of that wristband right there.
Well, I could call this one now. It's 2nd down and 1. I'd give it to to Gaston Green.
Good call.
First down. Out to the 43-yard line. David Grant brings him down. So Elway hit him with 2 quick passes and then goes on an easy 2nd and 1 call, and Green makes the play. Now here's a kid that came out of UCLA with all kinds of real big things planned for him.
That's right.
And he just was miserable with the Rams. He told us he wanted out of there a couple of years ago.
He was so frustrated he never got a chance to play. And then when the prospect of coming here, he said, my goodness, it's the same situation. They've got a great back in Bobby Humphrey. Now he gets his opportunity, and so far not doing badly. No big plays yet, but not doing a bad job.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line of Denver. Gaston Green again. Short gain, and then a late flag comes in. Thrown in the direction of holding against the line, and it is. And off the reaction of Doug Weidel, it might be against him. So the Broncos will be backed up. Let's check out Jerry Markbride.
Holding, number 67, offense, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Take a look at the right-hand side of your screen. You can see a little hugging match going on there, and that's the reason for the call.
Oh, I can't believe he even argued on the play.
They always argue.
Beasley, I'll tell you what, Elway, how hot is he throwing the football right now? He is 6 for 6. He hasn't missed yet in 91. So it's now 1st and 20 after the penalty on Denver. That's Shannon Sharp in motion. He's 7 for 7 as he picks out Mark Jackson for the first time this year to the 44.
Well, right now he's putting on a clinic. When he has to throw it low, he throws it low so the receiver can scoop it. When he has to put it in a position where the receiver can catch it in his stomach, he turns. Rod Jones completely around him. When he turns, immediately as he turns, the ball is halfway there already. That timing is so critical. Timing so critical. Mark Jackson had his best year as a pro, best year as a Bronco last year. 57 catches, 926 yards.
And that is the definition of perfection, I guess. 7 for 7. They got 13 on that play. Remember, it's still 2nd and 7, though. Sharp comes back and makes the catch by the Bengal bench, and a first down again.
Shannon Sharp is a big target. Tight end / wide receiver came out. You know, right now, he's Shannon Sharp. He used to be Sterling Sharp's brother.
Yeah, that's right.
Now he's starting to become Shannon Sharp. Look at the feet, keeping
nice
him inside.
Play.
Such balance.
Boy, that is a great play. You know, actually, Beasley, when the play started, he had Sharp wide open long.
Long he did.
Yeah.
And that's why John had to wait, because he knew it was a comeback route.
We're inside 20 seconds left here in the first quarter in a 7-7 tie. And the Broncos in Denver territory. This is Derek Russell. Incomplete. Eric Thomas was there with him as Elway airs it out. And now 11 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Now again, he's signaling in right now. These are the people he wants to come in.
That's personnel. Now, you know, that was an excellent job of man-for-man coverage. Now, when you're all by yourself, and it's just you in the highway, just perfect position. He looks back at just the right time. And just Eric Thomas is a very, you know, he's an experienced guy, drafted 2nd in '87, been around a while. He knows what he's doing. Got a lot of confidence and excellent man-for-man coverage there.
So it is 2nd and 10 with 11 seconds to go in the quarter. Here's Gaston Green. A good jolt to the outside gets him to the 36-yard line. Driven out by Ricky Dixon. Green took a step to the middle and then bolted outside.
You know, that's what he did so well in college. Step out and bounce. You know, like a Tony Dorsett type of move. This time he doesn't get much on it, but he turns a corner, showing that speed.
And that's the gun, ending the first quarter. Well, let's all catch our breath here at Mile High Stadium, because Elway and Esiason appear to be ready to give us an aerial show. 2 bombs for touchdowns, 1 for each of those number 7s, and we're tied at 7-7. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mile High Stadium on the opening Sunday of the 91 season. We've played 1 quarter here in Denver, and it's the Broncos and John Elway 7 and the Bengals 7. Elway connects on a 52-yard touchdown pass to Michael Young to put Denver ahead 7-0. Cincinnati answers on a flea flicker play Boomer Esiason to Mike Barber, 42 yards. And we're tied at 7. And the difference in the game right now is a missed 30-yard field goal by David Treadwell. He hit the upright.
You know, he tried to draw it in to the right. You know, he sent it out to the right, put a little hook on it, and hit the crossbar. But I tell you, we have not had a moment's break. If you're a fan watching this game or here at the stadium, you are being entertained. That, once again, is the signal from Elway, the personnel that he wants in the game.
I'm Jim Donovan along with Beasley Reese. And Denver coming out now. 3rd down and 3 at the Cincinnati 37-yard line. Reggie Rivers into the game. Here's Sewell. He's going to throw it to Elway. Now I know he's calling his own plays, but he's calling passes to himself.
Oh, what a show. What a show. This is beautiful. This play could not have been executed better. You see Sewell coming in motion. They respect him as a good runner, a good receiver. He stops and makes what is the perfect throw. I mean, he's got to drop it right over the defender's shoulder. Great throw.
24 yards and a first down for Denver inside the 15 of Cincinnati. This is Green. And he's knocked out by David Fulcher at the 5-yard line. Great block by Doug Weidel to get Green around the corner.
You know, these are, I mean, every year you know that these two teams are among the most exciting in the National Football League, and they are certainly living up to it. Gaston Green living up to what he said he was going to try to do. He wants to have a big game and show everybody that he can contribute, that he can carry a team as their starting runner. So far, no mistakes, doing a steady, solid job.
2nd down and 3 at the 5-yard line. Robert Perriman and Green are in the backfield. This is Perriman up near a first down as he gets down to the 2-yard line. And that's where he needed to get to try and get the 1st and goal. There's Tim Crumry getting up off the pack. Anytime it's run up the middle, Crumry's there. So we'll see if Perriman got the 1st down. As a matter of fact, Jerry Markwright says, bring in the chains. Well, isn't it amazing, Beasley, that the situation between Elway and Dan Reeves, which had so badly deteriorated last year, where Elway said, I really had no communication with Dan, and now it's gone 360 degrees the other way, and
really
Elway's
has.
calling his own plays. All right, Eagle Eye, did they get it?
I don't know. I was about to say, I can't tell. Looks like it may be an inch or two away from a 1st down. But like you said, Dan Reeves and John Elway getting along so much better now. One way to get along with your quarterback is give him some freedom, some creative involvement in the play calling, and he's certainly done that, and so far in this brand new season, it's working out pretty well and very entertainingly, I might add.
3rd down and inches from the 2. He's going to keep it and score. There's a penalty flag down. They came down way after Elway had gone into the end zone.
We have an unsportsmanlike conduct foul. Illegal demonstration. Number 7, Denver throwing the ball in the stands. 5-yard penalty on the kickoff.
All right, watch him here on the play, Beasley.
You know, I think they take a lot away from the game when you do this. Now, you think about it. You're a fan. You pay $25, $30 to see a game. You love John Elway, and he flips you the ball. I tell you, that's one of those penalties I don't like.
So they'll mark it off on the kickoff. Elway scores, and so does Treadwell as he hits the extra point. And John Elway caught a pass and then ran one in for a touchdown, and the Broncos lead by 7. We'll be right back. Denver leads 14-7 on the John Elway scramble for a touchdown as he bootlegs it. Elway on the sideline right now, tagged with a penalty for tossing the football to a fan after he scored. I mean, he didn't hurl it into the stands, he just flipped it.
And it was a safe toss. You know, I understand the league's point. You know, some of these stadiums are very high up, and you throw a ball and people start leaning and try to catch it. Maybe somebody can get injured. That time he just flips it up to somebody, and believe me, penalty or no penalty, that is a souvenir that some National Football League Denver Bronco John Elway fan will cherish for a lifetime. I think that's one of the beautiful things about sports.
Now, the big play on the drive was the Elway catch of a pass from Steve Sewell of 24 yards, and Beasley, that's the longest catch in Elway's career.
Okay, that's
in his receiving career. David Treadwell will kick it away after the penalty. He'll kick it from the 30. Mitchell Price. Boy, they are ready to put beside the 5-11 season of last year, aren't they? They are playing fired-up football. Kevin Clark is in on the tackle of Mitchell Price, and it's an offside being called against Denver, so I would imagine the Bengals will force them to kick it over again. Miami, they were not given a prayer, Beasley, in that matchup, and they lead 14-0. Houston up, and so is Minnesota. You see the Patriots and Colts tied at 7-7. And that's a surprise Phoenix over the Rams. So Esiason waits, but I would imagine they're going to kick it over after the penalty called against Denver for going offside on a kickoff. Boy, I wouldn't want to be in the film meeting tomorrow when they take a look at that.
No, that's not good. You know, special team coaches consider that one of the dumbest penalties that you can make. I mean, that's one of the dumbest in the world. To be offside on a kickoff, I mean, my goodness, you've got a 60-yard sprint line in front of you. You might as well watch the ball.
All right, Notre Dame football has been an integral part of both college football and American society since the 20s. And now NBC Sports is proud to present all the thrills and excitement of all Notre Dame home games. And it all gets underway next Saturday when the Indiana Hoosiers visit South Bend to take on Lou Holtz and the Fighting Irish. Coverage kickoff at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It starts with Notre Dame Saturday, the Irish and the Hoosiers. And, of course, NFL Live told you about the situation with Rick Meyer and Demetrius DuBose and that off-campus party back on Friday night, and Notre Dame officials will be addressing that. They seem to think later on this afternoon after the team holds a practice, so I'm sure the NFL Live group in New York will be covering that for you. All right, another penalty called on the Broncos on the offside, so Mitchell Price starts again. Out to the 32-yard line, and that's where it will be first down for the Bengals. Let's go to New York now, and here's Marv.
Thank you, Jim. It's been a rough day for quarterbacks around the league. On this play, Dave Krieg of Seattle suffered a broken right thumb in the game against New Orleans. According to the Seahawks, he will be out 8 weeks. Jeff Kemp finished up for Krieg as Seattle lost to New Orleans 27-24. Jim?
Thanks, Marv. Quarterbacks here are healthy and firing BBs. Esiason and Elway have been perfect. Harold Green on the carry with a cutback. And a beauty it was out to the 37-yard line, and the play is strung out. Into the lineup for the first time now for the Denver Broncos is Kenny Walker. Kenny Walker, number 96 for the Denver Broncos. And there he is. He is deaf and has been since the age of 2. And we'll tell you an awful lot about Walker as the day goes on. An 8th-round draft choice out of Nebraska, playing the right defensive end. And Green carries up near a first down to the 40-yard line. He'll be short by about 1.5 yards. And this is Greg Cragen on the tackle. Let's watch Walker play here, and they say he's going to be a great one.
You know, one thing about Kenny Walker, he's a super young man, and people just love him. The coaches love him to death.
Well, the Bengals just get right up to the line of scrimmage and plow away and should have a first down out over the 42. So Esiason just taking it and drilling it right down the field. And Greg Cragen is red hot, the nose tackle, number 71 of the Broncos, because I don't think he felt that the defense was given time to get themselves set. Right back to work again. First and 10. 11:48 to go in the half. Denver leads 14-7. Listen to that mile-high wave that has started. Green. And he'll lose yardage on the play. Mike Kroll chases the play down, and that is the top draft choice. Kroll, number 51. There's Walker, number 96. He looks to the sideline to get his signals from Wade Phillips.
Boy, did they string this out well. That's just excellent defense. Mike Kroll, a very fast player. In fact, he's one of the fastest players that was available in the draft last year. And listen to the noise. They use this. The Denver Broncos use this as a weapon.
2nd and 12. Esiason, and it is caught by Eddie Brown. Beautiful spin, and Brown carries out. Tyrone Braxton had him and then couldn't bring him down, and then Atwater had to come up and clean up. But what a beautiful ball fake by Esiason.
I tell you, I thought somebody called the play. I thought it was a whistle or something. He was so cool, so casual about the fake.
And there's the rookie Walker right up in his face.
Yeah, he's got to be careful with that. He's a little excited. You can't touch that face mask at all, especially when you're dealing with the quarterback. He didn't push it, didn't do anything mischievous, so he gets away with it there.
3rd down and inches. 14-7 Denver. 2nd quarter here at Mile High Stadium. James Brooks. Boy, on 3rd and inches, and Esiason rolls and hits Brooks for a 1st down to Bronco territory at the 43.
You know, when you're playing against Cincinnati, you learn to expect the unexpected. I mean, 3rd and inches, you'd expect somebody to quarterback sneak or run it, but they use that play like a running play. It's a high percentage pass. It's designed to get 3 or 4 yards. In this case, that's all they needed.
And again, they're right up to the line of scrimmage. They did not huddle. They just gathered as a group right at the line of scrimmage. 1st down. Jim Riggs in motion. Brooks. Cragen brings him down along with Mecklenburg.
They have done one super job bottling up, so far, one of the best running backs in the National Football League. Mecklenburg had a super preseason, led the team in tackles. And, you know, he said that his role has changed a little bit this year. He is called upon by the coaching staff to be more of a leader. They're going to move him around. He'll play some inside. He will play defensive end on nickel situations, but he's the leader out there now.
2nd down and 11. They say Brooks lost one on that play. Harold Green is in the backfield with James Brooks. Over the head of Eddie Brown. Wyman Henderson was there along with Dennis Smith. The rush came from the outside, and Simon Fletcher was the man number 73 for the Broncos, who was right in on Esiason.
Super pressure. Look at him push the pocket. 2 men on him. And look how cool Boomer is stepping up in the pocket. He did make a very good throw. I mean, you're talking about a lot of pressure, but that takes a lot of savvy and a lot of experience and nerve to make that step and still search the field, which he did well. The ball just got away from him a little bit.
Well, here's a bit of trouble now. 3rd down and 11. And a moral victory for the Broncos because they were able to substitute and get new players in against this Bengals no huddle. Barber dropped it. He hit him right on the numbers. You could hear it. His shoulder pads popped when the ball was delivered. And so Esiason and Barber, which was such a nice connection on that touchdown pass, well, right here. Oops.
This is one you won't see very often. That's a sure-handed receiver, one of the best pair of hands in the league. That time he let it hit the shoulders. That's why coaches say catch the ball with your hands if you can.
And then what? Bring it in.
And then let it softly collapse in. Yes.
Kevin Clark for the Broncos. Lee Johnson punts. And it goes into the right corner of the end zone and out for a touchback, and it will be Denver ball at the 20-yard line. That was a 43-yard punt, but Sam Weish would have liked to have seen him bang it out inside the 20. We'll be right back to Denver. Jim Donovan along with Beasley Reese here at Mile High Stadium in Denver. The Broncos up over the Bengals 14-7. And Denver ball at their own 20-yard line. What a fast pace first half.
Oh, it has been constant movement, and the fans have provided a lot also. Just the sound effects. This is a noisy place.
Gaston Green and Robert Perriman set down behind John Elway. Elway in trouble. And he throws it right into the Bronco bench over the head of Derek Russell. Let's go around the league now on Sunday #1. These are all of those games. David Craig, broken thumb. New Orleans comes back to win. Kansas City won. Bill Belichick lost in Cleveland on his opening day, and the Jets win on a Leahy field goal over Tampa Bay. Now the late games, Buffalo on the board on a 54-yard touchdown pass. Kelly to Andre Reed. Wow, Houston over the Raiders, Beasley, and Minnesota leads over the Bears. And the other games, as you see, on this opening Sunday in the NFL. And here in Denver, it's 14-7 Broncos. A John Elway 2-yard bootleg for a touchdown is the difference. 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. This is Green. Eric Thomas will try and get him. Well, that will make you forget Bobby Humphrey a little bit.
He said that that's what he wanted to do. He sat in the seat talking to us, squeezing his hands, wringing his fingers. This is a great opportunity for him. And take a look at the movement. Wham! Right there. That's a special move. And then to be able to, in 2 steps, get back up to full speed. And if it wasn't for a very speedy Eric Thomas, he would have gone all the way. 43 yards, super play.
Great block by Robert Perriman to get him going. 1st and 10. At the Bengal 37. Lewis gets the carry. That's Greg Lewis, their rookie running back out of Washington, and he brings it down to the 35-yard line.
And Greg Lewis had a super preseason also. He's a big, strong runner. Usually they bring him in, well, they can bring him in anywhere, any point in the field, but he's very good at short yardage also. Very powerful, forcing the ball on the inside. Now, I'm sure that the Bronco higher-ups are glad to see that these running backs are holding on, because there's a lot of concern around here about this Bobby Humphrey situation.
2nd down and 8. Lewis and Perriman now make up the backfield. Bengals look like they jump. Flags are down. Incomplete to Derek Russell, and then add another flag as they hit Russell. That's Fulcher. So you got a lot to choose from here, John Elway. You can either take the offside, or it looks like the pass interference.
Boy, I tell you, Rod Jones is having a rough day. First time he relaxes when there's a penalty and it's a touchdown. The next time he doesn't relax, he's a little overzealous and gets a penalty.
We have 2 fouls on the play. Offside, number 98 defense. That penalty is declined. Pass interference, number 25 defense. That penalty is accepted. Automatic first down.
Automatic first down. Rod Jones having a tough day.
Now let's take a look at the first penalty. That's a John Elway penalty. He's going hut, hut, hut. You know,
how did he go?
Oh, that wasn't very good.
No, that was pretty good. Here's the second
and then
one.
the second penalty, a little overzealous. I tell you, that's a close one right there. I don't know about that.
Beasley with the cadence call up here.
This is not a defensive back thing. That was pretty close.
Now they're at the 20-yard line, first down after the penalty on Jones. Robert Perriman, and he is submarined by Alfred Williams. And Alfred Williams, the Colorado Buffalo that a lot of Denver people wanted to be playing here in his professional days. I mean, on draft day, everybody, when the Broncos could have chosen him, wanted them to take him.
It seemed like such a natural selection, but they decided not to go that direction. Williams is a big man, but not very muscular. Look at those little bitty arms. He's like he looks more like an NBA power forward than he does an NFL linebacker, but a very talented player.
2nd down 9. Elway to his tight end. At the 10-yard line, Clarence Kay makes his first catch of the season. And John was looking at him all the way. Let's take a closer shot now of 6'6" Alfred Williams.
You know, I better stop talking about his arms. I might have to do another Cincinnati game somewhere. But he's learning a little respect. In the first game, he just ran amok after holding out. But I'm telling you, when it's opening day, And when it's a regular season game, the bullets fly a little bit more lively.
Third down for Denver, and they keep it and get the first down inside the 10. So it'll be first and goal Broncos as Elway comes off the pile, and John is simply having a fine opening first half of this season.
You know, he's done it all. What hasn't he done so far? I mean,
well, he hasn't. Yesterday, he didn't try and sell you and I a car.
That's it.
John
That's the only thing he hasn't done.
He owned 4 car dealerships, and I guess now he's down to 3.
They sold one.
And so we said, can you tell us the first couple of plays? And he said, no, but I'll tell you what, I could put you behind the wheel of a beautiful front-wheel drive automobile. First and goal at the 9. Gaston Green back in there. He did not get in, but boy, it was just the effort of David Fulcher that kept him from going the distance.
Now that's a form of the counter tray. 2 offensive linemen from one side of the field pulling a little cross blocking. It confuses the defense. Now look at the effort at the end of this run. That stretching, that is going for every ounce that is smelling the end zone. See the confusion. Lineman going one way, moving the other. The running back cuts on the inside, and that's effort. That's personal. That's personal right there, that last 2 steps.
Second and goal. Lewis. Second attempt, touchdown. Sam Weiss looks like he's getting a bad headache right now as his team is ready to fall behind by a couple of touchdowns.
Well, you can watch the push by the offensive line. We already talked about the selection of Greg Lewis in short yardage situation. Why? Second effort right there, touchdown.
Yeah, because Beasley, he did not have it on the first one. Right here, he doesn't have it.
See, they stopped him there. It's that second little drive, a little kind of a squirm in there that pulls him across.
And we're going to go to replay on this one to see if maybe on that first drive he was down. Or are we keeping it going? No, we're keeping it going.
He said the play stands.
Okay, the play stands.
As it is. After further review.
Here's Treadwell for the extra point. And the kick is good. We're at 21-7. The Denver Broncos putting some space between themselves and the Bengals. We'll see if Cincinnati can answer back when we return.
NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is brought to you by Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering. By Miller Lite, it's it and that's that. By the Upjohn Company, if you're concerned about hair loss, see your doctor. And by MetLife, get Met, it pays.
Welcome back to Mile High Stadium. Greg Lewis banged in from the 1-yard line, his first NFL touchdown for Denver, and they now have a 2-touchdown advantage over the Cincinnati Bengals, 21-7 as David Treadwell moves in to kick. Eric Ball takes it 2 yards deep. And will not get to the 20. Reggie Rivers is in on the tackle. There's a flag down on the return. Charlie Dimry was there too. So as we wait to see what Jerry Markbright is going to give us the call, Cincinnati's got themselves in a little bit of trouble here, Beasley.
Well, there's the man charged with coming up with something. You know, he's got a bag full of tricks.
Face mask penalty against the kicking team on the return. 5 yards. Timeout.
All right. Jerry tells you, timeout. And we'll spend a break right now. We'll be right back to Denver. Denver certainly winning the game on the ground right now, 89-22. The Bengals have not been able to run the ball. They trail 21-7. They might not be able to have a chance to run it if they keep falling way far behind. Here's Brooks. Nowhere. Tyrone Braxton off the corner to make the tackle, and someone really missed the block coming out of there.
You know, this defense has done a super job against one of the most complicated teams to defend. The no huddle has been no problem. The quick counts have been no problem. They're doing a super job remaining very poised.
Brooks lost a yard, and it is 2nd down and 11. Esiason to his tight end Rodney Holman for the first time today, but he's wrapped up quickly. Tyrone Braxton's in there along with Carl Mecklenburg. Boy, I'll tell you what, since he's moved back inside, he's a happy camper, isn't he?
He really is. I mean, he is so happy. Like I said earlier, he has a new, he's always been a leader, but he's expected now to be more vocal, to kind of coordinate the younger guys that they have on this team.
3rd and 5. A lot of time, and it's picked off by Dennis Smith. Well, now you have 2 safeties, 2 all-pro safeties for the Broncos, and each has an interception. Atwater and now Smith.
They've got to be very happy. I mean, both of the guys talked about making more interceptions this year. And man, are they fulfilling the dream. They start out perfectly in the first game. Now, Esiason is in trouble here. The pocket is collapsing, and just a perfect read off the double zone by Smith. Stepping up, makes a nice run. When he sees himself in trouble, he covers the ball up.
1st and 10 inside the 35 of Cincinnati. This is Green. And Gaston Green is having a wonderful start. Alex Gordon dragged him down from behind, but Green, who is in here in a tough situation, filling in for the holdout Bobby Humphrey, and he is having a great first game.
He's the kind of kid that you're happy for, too. I mean, you know, when we talked to him, didn't you feel good about him as like a nice young man? You kind of pull for a guy like that.
He already has 82 yards rushing here in the first half. 2nd down and 5. This is Perryman. And he is at the 24-yard line and up near a first down. Tim Crumry brings him down, and Skip McClendon was there too. Robert Perryman got out of New England, went to Dallas, and signed here as a Plan B free agent, but has always been, even in his college days at Michigan, a fine blocking back.
Very good blocking back. Gaston Green talked about how much of a pleasure it is to play behind him.
2-minute warning here in the first half. Broncos leading by a bundle and could add to it. We'll be right back. Jim Donovan and Beasley Reese at Mile High Stadium. Denver leading 21-7, and now an interception of Boomer Esiason by Dennis Smith. And the Broncos are knocking right on the Bengals' door again at the 24-yard line. 3rd down and inches. They have 3 timeouts left. All of their timeouts remaining. That's a first down for Perryman. Let's go back to Dennis Smith's pickoff of Boomer Esiason.
You know, it comes on a double zone. The 2 safeties are responsible for half the field. They are sitting back like 2 center fielders, and Dennis Smith just perfectly reads the throw, steps up, and makes the catch. Boomer had a lot of trouble with interceptions last year. He threw 22 of them. He's off to a bad start right now. I mean, if he keeps this up, we're looking at 32.
Already with 2 today. 1st and 10 Denver, near the 20 of Cincinnati. He's got Michael Young. He had him behind Rod Jones, and John just threw it a little too far.
That could have started to slam the door. He's upset with himself there because that could have been a nice little touchdown and a nice little space, a nice little cushion for his team. Excellent pass route. You know, when they line up close like that as a defender, you got to figure they're going to try to work something to the outside. He ran away from the defender, and John's still upset about the last play.
1:17 to go in the first half. 2nd and 10 at the Bengal 20-yard line. Gaston Green. Nice tackle by Ricky Dixon. A 1-yard gain to the 19-yard line, and more importantly, the clock is rolling right now as we come up to a minute remaining here in the first half.
You know,
Denver not using a timeout. Excuse me, Beasley.
I talked about John Elway being upset with that last play. You know, when you have to call the plays, it helps. John feels like it helps him to concentrate more on the next play because he can't dwell on it. He's got to think about the next play.
As you see, we'll be going to NFL Live at halftime. And a big welcome from here in Denver to Bill Parcells, joining the NFL Live team here at NBC Sports. 3rd down and 9. Elway right on the money to Michael Young at the 10. David Fulcher makes the tackle. Young makes the catch. They're near a 1st down and a timeout. We'll be right back to Denver with the Broncos up 21-7.
Now take a look at Michael Young here. He runs an excellent pattern, and John Elway puts it in the perfect position. Pushes. Now look at him throw it away from 33. John Elway throws it to the right side of his body. I tell you, when you get where you can throw him low when it needs to be low, to the right side, to the inside, outside, man, that's when you're good, and John Elway has got the hot hand now.
So only Young could have made that catch, right?
Only Young could have touched the ball.
Right. And incidentally, Michael's done a pretty good job of catching the ball. He already has 3 catches in the game for 71 yards and a touchdown. The touchdown was a 52-yard bomb. He only made 28 catches all of last season.
And you know, it's nice when you get off to an excellent start like that. It's nice when you start off excellent.
1st down and goal inside the 10. As they got the 1st down on that catch by Young. Here's Elway. Perryman. Right down on the goal line. They say that he is not in. So Robert Perryman makes the catch on the play, and Kevin Walker tackles for the Bengals, but they are inches away from scoring again.
Elway with a super play here. I mean, when you talk about his play calling, you know, the media everywhere is ready to question or see how he does. Everybody's interested in a quarterback that calls his own play. There's nothing that you can say about what he's done here so far in the 1st half. Everything has been working.
All right, these games are going on right now. Miami leading by 7. The Raiders get on the board. Jay Schrader threw a big bomb to Willie Gault in that game of 59 yards. And the Bears are on the board. They lead 7-3. The other games that are going on right now, Pittsburgh holding on to a lead, the Cardinals, and the New England Patriots with new head coach Dick McPherson. And Beasley, you and I will be in New England next week for Cleveland and the Patriots at Sullivan Stadium. So it's 10-7, or rather Foxborough Stadium now it's called,
yes.
not Sullivan Stadium anymore. And we'll see the Patriots take on the Browns. And there is the separation of ball to end zone.
Oh, man.
And it's 2nd down and goal. Denver leads 21-7 with 20 seconds to go. Touchdown! Out of Florida State.
You know, the Broncos will use all of their receivers. The scouting report on Reggie Johnson is big blocker. When he comes out for a pass, nobody's paying any attention to him whatsoever, and he's wide open.
Treadwell's kick is good, and it is 28-7. And the Esiason interception comes back and burns the Bengals as the Broncos march it right back in. And with 15 seconds left, Denver leads 28-7. And I'll tell you what, there's a happy rookie, Reggie Johnson. But, you know, now you have 2 happy rookies. Remember, Greg Lewis got his first NFL touchdown earlier in the game.
That's right.
And now John Elway throws it to 89, Reggie Johnson. So I'll tell you, this new play caller for the Broncos is really charitable, isn't he? He spreads it around.
He is so hot right now. It's unbelievable. Take a look at him. He's pumped up. The team is pumped up. He's making everybody happy. If you notice, he's spreading the ball around. One of the concerns about a quarterback calling his own plays is people lobbying for the ball in the, in the huddle. That hasn't been the case.
But more importantly, Beasley, those 70-odd thousand are happy right now.
That's
and I
right.
know for Bronco players, they They love the Bronco mania when it's in a positive area, but sometimes being the only show in town can make it very tough. He caught a deflected ball there.
Yeah, he sure did, and it made him stumble just a little bit because the ball suddenly changed speed and changed direction.
Now, can the Bengals get back in this thing?
You know what? There's the man scratching his head right now, and he's got a lot to think about. In fairness to the Bengals, we must, reiterate that the offensive line is decimated.
15 seconds to go in the half, and it will be a touchback. Eric Ball is advised by Lynn James to stay in there, as they've already had a terrible first half, and why create another problem?
3 of the 5 linemen for Cincinnati are either playing out of position or injured and out of the game, and it's very difficult to protect the quarterback, to give him time.
Beasley, I know Bill's listening back at the NFL Live studio. Say hi to him.
Coach, we've got a great game going on here. I hope you're enjoying watching all of this great stuff.
And we'll see you at halftime. James Brooks to the 22. And that should do it. I don't think the Bengals will stop the clock. As a matter of fact, I think that they'll get in that locker room and try and piece this whole thing together. And listen to the Bronco crowd. Well, Sam's got a lot of work to do, and Dan Reeves must feel like if he could just bottle what happened here in the first half, they'll be untouchable.
That's right.
Yes, the flag is flying high here at Mile High Stadium today. John Elway has been superb. 28-7. Elway has thrown 2 touchdown passes. He's caught a pass. He's run for 1. And the Broncos are rolling away 28-7. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Halftime, and we welcome you back to our New York studios. Marv Albert with Will McDonough and Bill Parcells in the AFC's big game of the day at Rich Stadium in Buffalo. At the half, it's Miami over Buffalo by the score of 14-7. Don Shula on the sideline going for career win number 295, jumping in front of Buffalo at the half.
Well, the running game, 80 yards by Higgs. I think the important thing is design Coach Shula has elected straight at Buffalo, Marv. They have good team speed on defense. Straight at them, they're a little soft.
I think another thing you got to do with Buffalo is keep it close. Don't let them get out 14-0. Keep yourself in a position where you can still run the ball. As long as you can run the ball, you can beat Buffalo if you stay close.
All right, at the Astrodome in Houston, it is now Houston leading the L.A. Raiders by the score of 16-7. Oilers head coach Jack Pardee looking to start his second season with a win at the Dome. Here is Alan Pickett busting through the middle, untouched, 8-yard touchdown. They missed the extra point. However, in the second quarter, it was Warren Moon calling his own number and sneaking into the end zone from a yard away. 13-0 lead. Later on, second quarter, Jay Schrader hitting Willie Gault over the middle. 59-yard touchdown, pulling the Raiders to within 9. 16-7 the score. Bill, any surprises for you in the first half?
Well, yeah. You know, the Raiders are supposed to be the ball control team, and Houston's supposed to be the team that goes 3 or out. Houston gets a 17-play drive. They have the ball 13.5 minutes the first quarter. That's unheard of for a run-and-shoot team, Mark.
All right, back to the scores. Halftime in Chicago. Bears leading Minnesota by the count of 7-3. Harbaugh to Waddle for the only touchdown of the half. In Denver, John Elway has thrown for 2 and run for 1 as Denver surprisingly leads Cincinnati 28-7 at halftime. Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh now in the third quarter. Pittsburgh in front of San Diego by the score of 10-3. At Anaheim, now second quarter, Phoenix 4-0 in preseason, off to the fast start, leading the Rams 21-7. That is now a halftime score. Hoosier Dome in Indianapolis at the half. New England in front of the Colts by the score of 10-7. The earlier games, and these are final scores, New Orleans defeating Seattle 27-24 in that game. Dave Craig suffered a broken thumb, and the word is he could be out up to 8 weeks. New Orleans with a 27-24 victory. Arrowhead in Kansas City. The Chiefs over Atlanta 14-3. 6 turnovers committed by the Falcons. Chris Miller intercepted on 4 occasions. Lambeau Field in Green Bay, a very difficult day for the Eagles behind Jim McMahon. They beat the Packers 20-3. However, Randall Cunningham, suffering sprained left knee ligaments, could be out for the rest of the season. It was Dallas over Cleveland, 26-14. Troy Aikman threw for 4 field goals for Ken Willis of Dallas. And the Jets on a Pat Leahy field goal knocked off Tampa Bay, 16-13, 3 field goals for Leahy, including the game winner. Now let's get back to Mile High in Denver. Jim Donovan and Beasley Reese.